Hey, it's Midnight Sun here. Welcome back. Last time we had the unfortunate mishap of dying on our Hardcore Barbarian, but have no need to fear. We are able to make up for that loss. So we're going to go ahead and create a fresh character, and we're going to call it Midnight Sun, same thing as the other character. Um, this is the first time I've had a death after reaching, I guess, through the Hadric's Gift in the hardcore runs that I've been doing so far. And I'm not too surprised that it happened. I've been playing very risky throughout this entire time, so this isn't all that surprising whatsoever. But one of the first things that we're going to do whenever we start a new character is going into our, what is this thing called? Cubed items, and making sure we've got everything equipped. I've definitely done it to where I set this and forget it on most characters, so when I jump in, I forget to put them actually in place here. And then we're going to go get our gear on. And to make it a little bit easier so that you guys don't have to watch me do all of the gear that I need and stuff, I'll probably just cut a little bit of it. So that way you don't have to, again, watch me kind of craft everything here and put it all on. But it's just going to be the basic gear that we craft in the beginning, including the, what is this called? Everything's slipping my tongue here at this point. The Captain Crimson's that we got there, so. All right, so we didn't have everything that we needed, so we're gonna have to convert some of the stuff, and it's costing us a lot of materials to convert these. It's about 10 Forgotten Souls and 10 Death Breath each. Now I have plenty of Death Breath, but the Forgotten Souls I don't have a huge stack of. So hopefully we get everything that we need to convert.
That stopped you.
Okay. So luckily we got it all, and we were really burning through our items there. That took a lot longer than I would like. So I think next time, if I ever die again, I'm going to go ahead and pre-do all this stuff so I don't have to worry about it again. Alright. So we've gotten everything that we needed to get on our stuff and made sure everything was put in correctly. Now, of course, we don't have the skills because we're level 1. So it's going to be just like we were doing with the alt barb characters when we were farming some death breath in the beginning. Except now we're going to have obviously a lot more power going through. And there's the rest of our skills. We're going to put in some passives. I'm going to put on this cheat death passive for right now. And I'm going to try and keep it on my bar by adjusting it. Now normally we would go inside that vision right away, but I'm still pretty low level. So we're going to use that cursed chest there to bring us back to level. Oh, and we got some goblins. Look at that. So goblins in the beginning here aren't, I mean, if this were the start of the season, this would be absolutely amazing. However, at this point, it's not something that we're really looking forward to. Now, the good news is that it does still drop a decent amount of materials, and we are desperately hurting for materials. So that aspect's good. In terms of the gems that they're dropping here, all of these gems, I'm just going to have to either convert them all, which is going to cost more resources, or I'm just going to sell them. Now, it's not too expensive to craft a bunch of these things up. It's not too time-consuming either. I just don't like doing it, so I'd rather sell them. We also forgot to put on our pet, so we're going to do that real quick. And the reason that I noticed that happened was all of this yellow and blue and gray junk sitting on the ground there. Look, after we put on the pet, it starts eating away all of that stuff. So if you're doing a hardcore character and you die, make sure you do that as well.
I need to go back.
All right, so that didn't take us too long. We're now level 60, so we're already shooting up into kind of the final stretches. And the items here, again, nothing is really going to be too useful. That puzzle ring, possibly. I can't remember if it scales with the level there or not. So we'll test that out. Everything else here is just going to pretty much be scrapped. Now, I could extract a lot of that stuff if I wanted to. And then you at least get the powers for it. Doesn't matter what level they are. They'll still be high level in the cube. But I don't really need to do that. And obviously we'll save the Marquise ones. Okay, so you can see that we've got a really long massacre bonus going, and I do have a vision back there, which I chose not to go into. Reason being is that if I go in those visions, it's just going to slow me down, and this giant massacre that we have here should get us to level 70, because we're still in Torment 6. So normally I don't get a long massacre like this in Torment 6, because I'm out of it by this point. So I'm hopeful that this will get us all the way to 70, and I'm trying to get every monster I can here to try and actually make it up to that level 70 distance. So let's see if that was enough.
I am returning to town.
All right, we managed to hit level 70 there. We might have gone, if again we didn't have so much Paragon, a little bit further than level 70. I'm not sure the exact amount of XP we just gained there. And again, now that we are 70, I'm just going to go ahead and save this because I might change it later. So we're going to call it the MOEGR speeds. If I could spell correctly, I want this all caps. And then again, we might look into the push version of the set here. But I'm going to keep with what I know for now. All right. So we've now bumped the difficulty up to Torment 9, and we're going to go ahead and start running through to get some visions. The reason we're staying in Torment 9 is this should be fine, but I don't have a Band of Might. I didn't have an extra one, so I'm currently not rocking the Band of Might. I don't want to go any higher than Torment 9, and even Torment 9 is kind of sketchy because I don't have any other way to get damage resistance. Now, I've still got Threatening Shout on my bar, which I'm kind of hesitant on. I might actually switch that out to something else. Now, I could put on Ignore Pain, and that would probably be pretty beneficial. But I'm not too sure about it. I might do War Cry or something else. Get a vision. This is where we get to see if we're actually able to keep up with damage and stuff in here. If we go through 2 or 3 visions and we almost die, then it looks like we'll have to stay out of visions or lower the difficulty. And we got the goblin early. In the meantime, I am getting hit a little bit here, so it is looking kind of sketchy. So this means I should be fine in the normal Torment 9 going around, but said visions we might have to stay out of for a little bit. We're going to try and find a way to farm up the Band of Might ring. Oh, that was dang, that, okay. Alright, I think we're safe now. Yeah, so definitely staying out of those. And the reason I opened up that chest earlier was for that exact reason. I'm hoping to kind of just burn out the time at this point because my cheat death triggered there. So, there we go. It automatically kicks you out there. Now, we can do Torment 7 and lower the difficulty, but I feel like it's going to be really inefficient for what I want to do. We forgot to grab a follower earlier, too. We're supposed to grab the Enchantress, but I like the Templar because the Templar is going to have strength-based items on his gear, and I'm not going to be reforging anything anytime soon. So we're going to go ahead and look through all the gear he needs and put it on him, because if we don't get the correct gear, what's the point of having a follower other than the cheat death? All right, we're going to test out the Rift difficulty now. So we're just staying in kind of these lower rifts a little bit here to try and get the items that we need. When we died, we lost all of our legendary gems. We're missing the Zeiss, the Bane of the Trapped, and the Molten Gilderbeast. And I cut over here to showcase that we finally got those gems back, and we're working on upgrading them right now. So essentially, oh, I forgot to put on the Paragon, look at that. Essentially what we're going to be doing at this point is constantly going through greater rifts and constantly leveling up our gems to be back to at least rank 25. Once we hit rank 25 in the gems, we should be at a point where we're safe to actually go back into those visions and actually start climbing up greater rifts a little bit. But before I do that, I need a Band of Might. All right, another thing that we did here is we're upgrading our gems. And I want the Flawless Royal Diamond in my helm to be able to get all that cooldown reduction. There we go. So we should be able to find it here. There we go. Cooldown, I'm at 40.7. All right, so Bane of the Trapped is at 25, and our Zeiss is getting up there now at this point. I really want to focus on the Molten Gilderbeest if I can, because that's the one that makes me feel the most secure. So we'll try and upgrade that one next here, but we're empowering the Greater Rifts, so we should be able to go through these pretty quickly. That is until we run out of gold to empower it. And right back. All right. So I ran through a bunch of Greater Rifts and started stacking up my gem levels over there. And now at this point, I'm really starting to feel the lack of the Bandit Might. So I'm going to create a level 1 barb here. I'm also going to put in a bunch of his Paragon points and stuff in case my other character dies, so I don't forget to do it. Hopefully I'll die never or really far along, so I'll put in more Paragon, but this will give me a base to go for. Now we just need to go and gamble for rings and hope we get a Bandit Might, essentially.
That is too
Okay,
expensive.
and we did not get it. So we're going to come through here on this level 1 barb every now and then to gamble. Alright, and our Zeiss is officially ranked 25. And on to the Molten Gilderbeest for the next one.
Impressive. The ancient rapid strength.
Let's see. And we got to remember to adjust the difficulty slightly lower when we hit them to 25, because we don't need to be on that high of a difficulty to get them to 20. And it's really expensive to do the empowerments on this. Now, normally, if you're on softcore at the end of the season and stuff, you'll get so much gold that it won't matter. We've kind of used up quite a bit of our gold early on, and of course we had to do this a couple times running Greater Rifts, so... Alright, and upgrading again. I'm getting tired of seeing this upgrade screen. So I'm sure I'll go and edit out a bunch of the Greater Rifts here, because I don't think you guys need to see me do the exact same thing I did before my character died. So I'll just put in what's kind of necessary and kind of some key moments. Now at this point, we're going to start running bounties. And the reason that I'm doing this is I'm trying to get a Ring of Royal Grandeur. And if you're wondering why I need a Ring of Royal Grandeur when I already have one in the cube, I'm hoping to gamble and get a low-ranking Bandit Might and extract it in the cube, and then get a Ring of Royal Grandeur and wear the Ring of Royal Grandeur while the Bandit Might is in the cube. So we're going to try that out now. Alright, so we went through a vision in the process of getting those bounties completed. Nothing too exciting in this vision here, so we'll just skip to the end. Now, hopefully I can make it back to where I was before in time. I really don't want to walk through that whole area again. This is cutting it close. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Last one, last one, last one. Okay. Made it.
Impossible.
Oh, we got a goblin.
Not enough fury.
It's a gold goblin. Which we actually need because we just spent all of our gold. Alright. Going through those visions kind of filled us up with loot, so we'll have to go and empty out a bunch of this. I don't think we're going to use the Mountains of Justice. Got another Ancient. I'll clear out my Ancient items sometime too and organize them. Alright, there's the ends. One thing that sucks about doing bounties is I feel like I have to go in these visions every single time, and they're kind of a huge distraction for myself here. Looks like we got an extra weapon that we need though, so that's good. Alright, Mesomeric's Reaver, that's pretty good. I already got a couple of those, so I don't need it. Alright, doesn't look like we got anything else too good from here other than a couple of those set pieces. And all of this can be scrapped. Which is good, because we need to build up Forgotten Souls anyway. Alright. Let's do a couple more empowered greater rifts and see if we can get those gems up to where we need them to be. Alright, we got a shield pylon. That means we can be pretty safe. The flavor of time and how fast we're running these greater rifts, as soon as I get a pylon, it pretty much lasts the entire greater rift. So literally my shield will not run out by the time I complete this greater rift, or at the very least it'll be pretty close by the time we're done here. Now I'm starting to get the hang of running through these speeds by putting it on a lower difficulty. I'm getting better at managing my resource and where I need to attack. So we can see there that the elites are pretty much dying instantly. And I could probably maintain this all the way up to like GR 50 or 60 as well, especially once we get to rank 25 bonus on our gems. I've been getting pretty lucky with the power pylons and stuff in here as well, but we don't really need them. We're already at about 72%. And again, still no Bandamite.
I can't.
And so far, nothing has been able to hurt me. Which isn't impressive. We're in rank 30. Alright. We've already met Hershey. Like a lot. Okay, so we're almost there. We just need to do a couple more empowered. Now, I don't think I have enough gold to empower it 2 more times, but I could do at least 1 more time.
The blood runs.
We get an extra potion. It's not the best, but we'll put it on for now.
Embrace your
Alright, so we did get a little bit more gold after completing this. I'm not sure if we'll have enough to fully empower it. If we don't, I could go and earn gold by doing another Greater Rift, no problem, so. Let's see. Alright, we've got enough. So, oh, and we got an Orc Stream. Well, that's not really needed at this low of a Greater Rift difficulty. I do like having these Orc Streams, and I do think it's important for them to be in the lower Greater Rift difficulties, but at the same time, I kind of wish that this was only available in like GR 90 plus and stuff. And maybe increase the odds of it happening or something as you go up a Greater Rift difficulty. But that's just a personal opinion, and I'm sure others disagree with me on that. It's kind of fun getting them even on these low levels. So this should be probably the fastest time we'll ever run through this lower GR35 here. And thank God we have the ability to auto pick up progress orbs when they're kind of close to us, because that has been a huge lifesaver when it comes to running these things. Big quality of life change.
No way. I need fury.
Running out of fury. Should be spawning the Rift Guardian in a second now. I could have spawned it in the previous area. I don't know why I didn't. Alright, so I was pretty fast for the Barb. Been told there's much faster builds to do on the other classes, so maybe we'll try those out in a little bit here too.
I am returning to town.
And they're all finally ranked 25 again. This was kind of a long time coming. We're still not quite where we used to be in terms of power. But at the very least, this is a huge step towards that progress. And it didn't take us too long. And we got another goblin. This one's a green goblin. That's great. My favorite goblins, other than the dark blue ones. Alright, let's return to Tyrael.
I am returning to town.
If you're wondering why I'm here trying this out again instead of just equipping the Ring of Royal Grandeur or the Bandamite, that was because I did not get the Ring of Royal Grandeur in the last time through. So there's our Bandamites. Again, I could equip this now, but I really want to get that Ring of Royal Grandeur so I'm not losing out on too much power. And this is just a temporary measure until I hopefully find an extra Bandamite that's higher leveled. So we'll throw those in the stash and extract them. I might keep one of them just in case. I'm not sure if reforging it is going to work and make it a level 70. I don't really want to waste the resources unless I know that for sure. So maybe someone in the comments can tell me, if you reforge a level 10 or level 20 item, does it stay level 10 or 20, or does it bump it up to 70 after you've reached level 70?
I've dug up some new things for you to take a look at.
Alright, that's extracted, so we don't got to worry about it now. And you can see my lack of Ring of Royal Grandeur in my stash. Tongue twister for me. So I'm just going to check and see if this can roll a socket, and it cannot. So we can't even equip this because we need the gem in our inventory for right now. So we'll stick with what we have on. Alright, the rest of this can pretty much be scrapped. I might, like the Echoing Fury and stuff, I could use an extra one always, but... And we hardly have gone up Paragon. We're sticking in these low... Alright, we're going to try again. Running through these bounties make me tired. Normally, I'd like to listen to music or things, but I can't because it'll get picked up on the audio. Alright, We had another portal or vision to go through here. Now again, at least we're Torment 9 going through these portals and visions, so they're kind of useful. We've also got the power of our gems working for us now, so we're going through a little quicker. Hey, we got a primal. I'll check that out in a minute. It's a primal helm, and I'm pretty sure I use set pieces for the helms that I'm equipping right now. So if it's not green, it's not something that I can probably use. But that's fine because I really do need to scrap it, and I'm anticipating it's going to be something like a Leoric's Crown or a Broken Crown. Usually primals are kind of useless. Well, not useless, but usually the items I get that are primals aren't good. Now sometimes I do hesitate if I'm using a, like for example, one time I got a primal nemesis on intelligence, and I happened to be needing the enchantress, so then it was kind of like, oh, do you scrap it or do you use it on your follower and give them a primal, because they probably never get primals. So that was also on hardcore, and then I died. Forgot that my follower had it on. I think it's this one. Yep. Primal and Dariel. So that's not used for anything as far as I can tell. So we'll go ahead and probably scrap that and use it for the altar. Alright. Got some elites, which is pretty good. And the plan for this video, by the way, guys, in case you were wondering, is to get to where we were before and then a little bit further. So basically, my goal is to try and clear a GR 84, I think is what killed us. So once we clear the GR 84, we'll again work our way up to GR 90. If I feel confident after clearing the GR 84, we'll do it right away. If I don't feel confident, then I probably won't. And I'm going to edit this video down enough to where it's not too boring, because I'm assuming it'll take me maybe 4 hours of gameplay to get kind of back to where I was, depending on how nice the RNG is, and I'd like to cut that down to about an hour. So we'll do our best here to make it entertaining. And hopefully we don't make it entertaining by dying again, because that would be disastrous. Alright, this is a nice area. I hate these fire pillars that block you every single time or make you attack them. And my pet really needs to pick up the gold. Hey, look at that. It took me a full second to realize what was going on. I didn't hear the noise when I came in at all. We've been getting really lucky with these goblins. It's probably my best season when it comes to goblins, to be honest. And we needed those gems too, so we'll stack those up. A lot nicer with the pets salvaging all that stuff. And again, look at that. I was hoping that would happen. Sadly, I don't think we're going to get a third, though, since this is where the goblin chest dropped. One thing to be keeping an eye out for is when the chest does drop in here. I've had it to where my wife and I have played this, and she's accidentally opened the chest by just trying to grab all the stuff on the ground here. And then you have to scramble to get everything before the rift closes. So I'm always paying attention to that on the map here. And hopefully my pet will actually pick up all of this stuff that's on the ground here. Being a little slow. I don't know if you guys run into those issues as well or what. Like right here, this stuff should have already been picked up. I'm even giving him some time to like move over here and recognize. But it's not too much of a loss in resources. I'm losing about 20 arcane or veiled crystals. So maybe we'll just go and open up the chest and see if that helps trigger it or not. They still have plenty of room. Yeah. Whatever reason, that chest being there must have thrown it off.
am returning to town.
And we've got quite a bit of stuff on our inventory now. We got that fatal damage amulet. That's a hardcore specific item, by the way. It's only available in hardcore. And it's not too useful later on because you'd prefer to have another amulet or something there. I kind of wish that that was only found in like the 1 to 70 or something like that, like a really low ranking item to give you a bit of help when it comes to reaching GR, or not GR 70, level 70. I don't think we're going to use that. We have extra room, so might as well throw that in there. The other one too, and then we could just scrap the rest of this, including the primal. Now, the downside to scrapping that primal is I'm pretty sure I can't actually use it in the altar until I get the right node. I'm going to throw all those gems in there, by the way, too. I do not want to lose them again. A couple of those primals, not too bad. And I threw in one of those Imperials because they had a lot. The rest of them I don't mind a little bit. So let's just check here. Yeah. We don't have any tabs except for that middle one, but we should be going to this right one anyway. So these left two and, or not left two, the middle and the left one, you want to save until after you've gotten the right one. That random shrine effect is too powerful. All right, so we've done all the bounties again. Hopefully this time we'll get lucky and get the Ring of Royal Grandeur that we need. And one sec.
The world is
Okay, I had to respond to a text. All right, I didn't see the ring there. Nope. Pretty sure this Ring of Royal Grandeur hates me, which isn't fair because I'm not going to throw it away like the other players actually want to use you. So I guess we'll run that again and just kind of keep trying until we eventually get the Ring of Royal Grandeur, which hopefully isn't going to take us too long.
Impossible.
Oh, got another goblin up here. Just a regular one. Got a portal too. That's kind of nice. Alright, so there wasn't too much good stuff in this portal, so we'll probably just skip it. I'll showcase the end here to show that we actually completed it, though. Back to bounties. Alright, are you going to be nice and give me my Ring of Royal Grandeur this time? I don't think it gave me again. Oh, wait. Yeah, we did. Okay, I didn't see it the first time it dropped. Wait. Aw. Here I was thinking that other ring was the Ring of Royal Grandeur that I was looking for. That's disappointing. Stupid other rings. Nothing here looks good. Hello, Rift Guardians. Nice to see you every 1,000 times. That's a lot of stuff. Kind of getting tired of going through visions at this point. I've gone through so many of them, and normally I don't mind when I'm farming them. But when I'm trying to do other stuff, these just feel really slow to me. Although we're getting a lot safer in here now. And these are all still Torment 9. I don't want to risk pumping up the difficulty for something as silly as getting a Ring of Royal Grandeur. It just doesn't make sense to me.
I can't.
Okay, there's the end. Kind of mighty belts.
I gain new strength.
Anything else in here?
I need to go back.
All right. So we got an extra weapon, which is obviously great because we need a few of those. And a few other items that we might throw in the stash here as well. Interesting. All right. Let's finish that off. All right, so this is the last bounty that we need to do. And we have a vision here. And I think if we hop in this vision here... Oh, cool, Rift Guardians. That's actually perfect. So now that we've cleared off all the enemies, we'll have a safe spot to return to town to. And then we can just jump right back in this vision if we need to.
You have finished all the bounties.
There we go. Okay, there's a ring for sure. Finally. I don't know if I put all of these in the video, but I had to run through bounties like 7 times to get the ring. And that's with double the bounty caches, so it would have been like 14 bounty runs. Now, we'll go ahead and roll this and see if there's anything better we can put on here real quick. That chance to deal area damage be alright, but critical hit chance is obviously better. And I don't know, I always try like once or twice afterwards just to see if I get lucky, but that's already a pretty high crit chance. Where's the remove? Okay, I could not find my ring for a second. I got worried. Alright, now we just gotta remember to switch this over. See if we can find that band of might. There it is. Okay, so our stats on our items are looking pretty good. And we've got the Band of Might on now, which means that we could probably go up higher difficulties or higher greater rifts as well. So 84 is where we need to get to. Don't worry, we're not going to jump onto 84 right now. We need to build up our gems a little bit more. So I'm going to kind of play it safe, and maybe we'll go... actually, let's try 60 and see if we can run through this no problem. And feel safe now that we've got the Band of Might in the cube there. Alright. So, Call of the Ancients is going to get us the resources we need. Those guys died quick, which is a great sign. And we're still moving pretty fast. I did put on a different ability other than Threatening Shout on my bar here, which is going to give us a lot more defenses. So hopefully we'll feel more comfortable through here. And our follower does have his cheat death item on, so he can't die. There we go. Alright, don't smash into the wall repeatedly. So if anybody's not familiar, I mean, I think I showcased it, but I don't know if I actually discussed it, about how the Band of Might works, is every single time I use Leap or Charge, it resets the time on the Band of Might, and it's got a fluctuating ability to reduce damage taken. So it'll say something like every time you leap, damage taken is reduced by 67% for 5 seconds, I think maybe is the time on it. So that means that as long as I'm leaping or charging every 5 seconds, I will have that 67% reduced to damage. If I stop leaping or charging for 5 seconds, then all of a sudden that 67% damage reduction is gone. In the cube, it's maxed at 80% damage reduction. So we're getting the full benefit of the Ring Royal, or not the Ring Royal Commander, of the Band of Might here. And I'm definitely feeling like doing this was a good idea. So we'll see if this plays out in the long run, or works out in the long run. And we could start bringing these gems up higher. Now, if I ever want to empower them, because I got a lot of extra gold on me, I'm not going to run them this high at GR60. I'm going to start lower at like GR50 or 45 or something and work my way up the gem levels here. And we got an extra weapon again. It's good. I really need to organize my stash a lot better here in a minute. All right. So I had to leave game and come back in for a minute. And in the process of doing that, I realized I wasn't recording the beginning here. So this is kind of a refresher of what we were working on here, showing gems. And we're now getting a homing pads finally, which I haven't had on my follower this entire time. Even the time before. I was really lacking this item. We keep finding ancients for all of the other builds but ours, which is always great. So a few items we'll throw in the stash here. Alright, so we're finishing the rifts pretty fast. We're on GR50. And at this point, we're just using Tormented Greater Rifts to build up our ring stash, not a ring stash, our legendary gem stash here. And it's working out pretty well. We're staying really safe going through there. It's really fast and efficient. And this is what we should have done in the beginning. Instead of pushing for a higher Greater Rift, we should have brought all of our legendary gems up a little bit more. But I was really expecting this GR speed version of the Barbarian to be able to handle better than a GR90 with all of the gear, you know, unlocked and all of our legendary gems at 25.
I can't carry anymore.
All right, we're gonna have to spend some blood shards. And we've almost got all of our gems to level 50, so we're crawling up here. And still no extra primal items, which is a bit of a bummer. Okay, we got an ancient there. Ancient, where's that Chian? I'm going to start stacking some ancients in my gear. And we need to spend all of our blood shards. So one thing that I've been doing is all of my items on here are not ancient, and that's for a reason. I'm going to try and farm up some ancient items and keep them in the stash and put them towards a pushing build. Like that immortal one is great for the immortal set, obviously not mine. If I find another ancient for another class, I'm going to save it and put it in the stash. But we're going to start with the helm and then work our way to like chest armor, and then gloves, then shoulders, and pants. For all of our green set items, and hope we get lucky. All right. We're doing 65, still pretty fast, 12 minutes, 45 seconds. Still no danger or risk in running these greater rifts, and all of our gear now, our legendary gems, are 50. So this is
I am
perfect.
returning to town.
Halfway to 100.
Well,
Get back into it.
embrace your
This is kind of the repetitiveness of Diablo 3 that a lot of people struggle with. Me personally, again, when I'm recording game videos, I can't have any shows on in the background or any music playing because they'll get thrown in the video, and I really don't want to get copyright struck or to have random TV shows playing that make no sense to the what you guys are seeing here. So typically, though, you get a nice drink or something to sip on for a bit, and get some of your favorite tunes or gaming playlists queued up, or open up Netflix, Hulu, or whatever streaming platform you want on another monitor, another tab, and just let that play while you're playing your game here. Me personally, I'm partial to having other gaming videos up while I'm running through the greater rifts and stuff here. On hardcore, maybe I need to focus a little bit more, but softcore especially, like I'll go and watch somebody else play Last Epoch, or I'll go watch somebody try and teach me how to play Path of Exile because the game's so confusing to me. And I'll have that up while I run through greater rifts here. So, if you're ever wondering how to not be bored while playing this game, the beginning of the season, absolutely great. When you're farming items, so certain seasons that have the farming ability in there is pretty good. But otherwise, it's just this kind of rinse and repeat over and over again. So, of course, pushing is always great. All right, we're gonna go back to the Molten Gilderbeest, which is the one that's helping us stay alive.
I need to go.
And we're starting to get a full inventory. We found a band of might, finally. So if we wanted to, we can switch back to the old wave, cubing the ring and wearing the band of might. I'm just going to keep it in my stash because I like what's going on right now, but maybe I'll switch it. I'm trying to hope for a better band of might that's not ancient, so I don't have to worry about losing it. I've got the primal one in my stash, and I'm not putting that on until I'm almost 100% sure I'm going to be pushing for the final time. And we are ready, folks. We're going to try and hit level 84 with the Greater Rifts. Now, we could still go up the difficulty, but I feel like we've got it. So we're going to go ahead and try it. And since this is a monumental moment for this Hardcore Barbarian here, we're going to let it play through the whole time. Already, our damage is looking a lot better from when we last did this. If you guys remember, when we died, we walked in and had to swing a few times to be able to kill the enemies. And we couldn't really stay in one location long. Otherwise, we'd be gone. So, I'm going to be trying this out. Again, I changed one skill on my bar, and I still have the cheat death passive on, and I've got the followers cheat death on. So now I'm doubled up for cheat deaths. And if it's looking sketchy, this time instead of pushing through, I'm going to get out of it. I'm also kind of trying to make sure that I've got the Band of Might bonus all the time. And those rings on the ground that you see from Oculus rings, we're going to try and step in those when we get the chance as well to do some extra damage. If need be, anyway. Alright, so we're about halfway through the Greater Rift. So far, nothing too bad. Now, this is what happened last time, and then we got hit, and then we got kind of stuck and trapped for a bit. So we're not letting our guard down at all in here. And the elites are taking a little bit longer to kill than I would like. Okay, this is a pretty congested area.
Impossible.
One other thing that we've been trying to... Oh, cool. We got lightning. One other thing that we've been trying to do is for the Call of the Ancients and the Wrath of the Berserker, I've been trying to keep those up as much as I possibly can, so when they're gone, I'll throw them up, or if they're gone, I'll try and save them from when I run into some elites again, then I'll use them on the elites. So I don't think we did that when we died. We had our Wrath of the Berserker down and our Call of the Ancients down, so we gotta get better at managing the cooldowns there. Alright, can we do enough damage? Okay, we do plenty of damage there. And we're back to rank 35. I think that's better than we were before. I'm not sure if we were at rank 35 before.
Let's see the gem.
And this is what our gems were at. Again, we're going to be leveling up the Molten Gilder Beast to... What, man, I keep mispronouncing this. I don't know what in my head makes me say it that way when it's not even close to the gem. That's probably really bothering you guys. Sorry about that.
Fortune favors the bold.
Alright. So we want to spend a little bit of gems here, or shards. Not too many. Because that was good enough without any worry that we're going to go right up. We need to hit 90. If we can hit GR 90, then everything else is good. And that was a horrible rift. I am not doing that one for pushing right now. I'm going to try and get a much better rift to go through, one that feels okay. And this one kind of feels okay. We're going to, once we hit GR 90, we'll be able to get all the blood shards that we need for the cube, not the cube, the altar. And then we can kind of focus on some of the other tasks. I need to get better at aiming this here. I'm kind of panicking a little bit here. Because this is, it's not looking too safe right now. But we do rely on Ingyom, which means we need to kill an elite to trigger all of the cooldowns and stuff that we're looking for and this boost in power. So if we don't have the elites to maintain with Ingyom, we're going to feel very weak. Running low on Fury. That's not a good sign either.
Impossible.
This is a little tight. I don't like that. Now, luckily, we got the shield pylon, so hopefully that'll carry us to the end. And that's, again, I mentioned this before, I really don't want to rely on shield pylons to be able to do the rest of this. Now, there is another build I can do other than the Seismic Slam version of this, which is the Leapquake version of this build. And I'm not too sure how the Leapquake compares to this. So if anybody's tried out the difference between the two, in terms of pushing low Paragon, right? What do you think is the better option? Is it the Leapquake or is it the Modi? Or Seismic Slam, sorry. And if it is the Seismic Slam, do you think the Seismic Slam should just be equipping the push set? Or do you think that the Leapquake is the better speed farming build, you know, to run here? Now, I'm going to do my own research and I'm going to come to my own conclusions on this and stuff, but I am curious as to like what you guys think. Because I'm obviously going to take you guys' considerations or thoughts as a factor. And some of you guys know Diablo 3 better than I do because you guys have been playing longer or because you guys are just really, really intense in the game, researching what's going on here. So that's great. I'm not afraid to take advice. Right. Again, the Guardians aren't too bad. So far, we haven't had one that was really difficult to kill.
Let's see what we can do.
I am returning to town.
Okay. Last one. We're going up the GR90 now. And we're going to spend, again, a little bit more of these so that we'll be able to not have to worry about coming back for blood shards. And we got elites right off the bat, which isn't very safe. Luckily, they're just the blue ones, and they don't look too bad. But in order for the Molten Wild Beast's Gizzard to help, I need to not take damage for 4 seconds. Alright, I'm trying to kind of clear a path back too, so I don't gotta worry about getting hit from behind. I'm running out of fury. Okay, I should be able to reactivate. There we go. Wrath of Berserker and Call of the Ancients, and hopefully they'll maintain my fury. This guy is going to take a minute. Hopefully I can stand here and do some more damage. Here we go.
No way.
Alright, we're taking hits now. But I still haven't had my cheat death triggered yet, so I don't think I need to worry unless one of those gets triggered. We reactivated our Wrath of Berserker and everything again. If we have that going, we seem to be doing very good damage on GR90s. Now this isn't as fast as I would like a GR90, because on the Demon Hunter, especially on the God set, we would be in and out of here in 2 minutes, and no worries about dying, absolutely fast farming. So I gotta figure out a better speed farming set for the this guy here. But the good news is again, once we clear, that was a hard hit. Once we clear GR90, we can switch over to the other sets and farm on those sets if we need to. If you're not familiar with the hardcore rules that I've established myself, basically the rule is that I cannot use any of the other classes, including farming or anything like that. I can use a level 1 class to reforge something or to roll an item or something like that if it's got better odds. But I'm not playing any of the other classes. I'm sticking with the Barb here, and I'm sticking with the Hedrig's gift set that I'm given for any bit of pushing. And the goal is to try and do a GR 110 and complete the altar. So we're gonna hopefully hit 90 here. We just need to get to GR 110, and I'll probably switch to the push version of the set here because it's looking the GR speeds is not gonna be able to do it. Now hopefully the push version can do it. If the Seismic Slam one can't do it, then I'm going to go to Leap Quake, and if it's actually impossible or way too time consuming for the Barbarian to do it, we'll have to use another set, and it'll be considered a loss this season, where I'm not being able to accomplish the goal with the Hedrick set. Alright, no problem. Rank 29. And now this Molten Wildebeest core, or Gizzard, is way higher than it should be. Look at that, we have perfect items in our inventory. Exact amount that we needed. That's nice. Oh, I'm getting tired here.
Your skill will gather smiles on me.
Our Paragon's getting a little higher too. Part of like pushing higher might just be farming Paragon, which we could do. There we go. We finally got that. And we could spend those primal items or shards there. This next one is going to require some farming, which we can do no problem. Not sure what the next thing I want to get would be. I think that critical hits grant resource is probably going to be useful, as well as that pool of reflection for farming. Paragon and stuff would be great as well. So let's take a look and see if we got anything good in all of this extra gear here. Okay, we got some ancient pieces there. We also got a, oh man, what's it called? Petrified Scream down there as well. That wasn't supposed to be in there. And then it looks like some extra green items. I'm going to get rid of some of those yellow rings in there. I put them in there just in case I needed them when we were doing our level 1 to 70 journey. But now that's no longer needed. So I'll go through my stash probably off recording, and I'll clear it up a little bit and mix match some items. The next thing I'm going to work on is also getting these sets organized too. I don't like having a lot of extra gloves for a set, for example, if I don't have the full set pieces equipped. So I'll just organize it by the full set, and I'll also put them in the armory and have them ready to be equipped if needed. And we'll showcase those this season as well. So we can look at all of the barb stuff this season, which would be great. And I was planning on doing that for the Demon Hunter, and then I got sick and that threw off my plans. So we'll also try and do that by testing out some of the other sets for the whatever class we're doing for that season. And pretty much all of this can get scrapped. Fix our gems. And after doing all that, it's nothing else to do but check out some leaderboards, I guess. So, oh, before I do that though, if you guys are curious for what I had on for like gear and stuff, there's my damage and toughness. Here's a quick look at some of the stats on the items that I have. So if you're ever wondering, hey, am I able to do what you just did, or can I push higher? Here's just a quick kind of peek of what I've got on. Again, nothing on here is ancient, so this should be absolutely fine if you've got 1 or 2 ancient items on you, and then just make sure you're enchanting them to the right affixes, and of course putting on the gems. So that's everything there. And then let's see. Oh, we only had 1 Greater Rift Keystone left. That's perfect. Details, that's what I'm looking for. There's all my offensive stats, my shield and stuff on my bar there, and defensive stats. There should be a way to find my cube items. Where are they? There they are. And there's the items that I have in the cube there. So if you're ever wondering, there's a quick kind of peek. You can pause if needed where at. And then there's the leaderboards. Let's see, we did tier 90. So scroll down a bit here, and there we are. So that's not bad. And if we go over to our set, we are in 5th place for our set. And somebody else did a 90 a little bit faster than I did. And somebody did a 91. So we could probably do a 92 or 93 and get up to 3rd place. So have a good one. Bye.